Hello, magic makers, and welcome to April. April will not disappoint. We're in for a bit of a wild ride, astrologically, numerologically, energetically, all the things, predictively, all the things. April is here, and wow. Be sure to stick around to the end. We'll draw a card from the Sacred Rebel deck and just get an overarch of the energetics for this month. But let's dive into the numerology. So it is the fourth month of the year. The number 4 gifts us with strong foundations. And, this year, although it was off to a slow start, astrologically, it's just beginning. We're really getting into the flux and the flow of what you can really expect this year to unfold, and it's bountiful. And the 4 always reminds you to build everything upon a really strong foundation, right? We see lots of things building like this and then they become wobbly. We want to build like this. We want the foundation to be really strong so that the tower can rise high to heaven. That's what the 4 brings us, but it is a 3 universal month. We take the number 4 with the number 8. It gives us the number 12. That reduces to 3, and 3 is the number of creativity. It's about, and you're going to be asked to get really creative this month with a lot of things, with how you navigate the toss and the turns. We're still in the middle of eclipse season. As we get into the astrology, I'll explain a lot more about what you can expect and experience in this month. But the 3 is what I consider to be the Holy Trine. Now, it is the number of creativity, so you can expect that your creative expression, your creative endeavors might expand, but you're also going to have to get creative, or you choose to get creative with how you navigate the twists and turns that are before you, especially with this unpredictability of eclipse season. So the 3 is the Holy Trine. It's the body, the mind, the spirit, the universal communion coming into your higher sense and self, both from bringing like heaven to earth, but also it's a life, death, rebirth number. And it's about that experience of being creative as you become something new. That's really what the 3 brings. The Holy Trine, the Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, which is the feminine Christ, God consciousness. It's all here. So it is a holy and a whole wild month that you are embarking upon. It's also going to be super busy. It's got a lot of energies with a highly accelerated momentum. It's kind of like a whirlwind of expressiveness, of joy, of creativity. The 3 also brings us the number of the child. So remember, in all things, to have some lightness about your being, to find some joy, to be creative, and how you can think outside the box to keep yourself in flow and in balance. And when we get into the astrology, it's going to be essential as well. So this month is big, it's bold, it's bright, it's inviting you to really be the bold truth teller, to really stand up as the way shower of whatever is light within your soul, whatever gnosis or knowing that you have, that you are put here to share. This is the time to step up and step in the expression of what is true for you, and supporting others through awakening, through awareness. It's all happening in this wild April energy. So the astrology of the month, we begin April 1st with Mercury in retrograde. Like, just because things aren't fun, couldn't be more fun, right? Let's start with Mercury retrograde. Always remember that Mercury retrograde has a 2-week shadow moving in. So it really began its shadow experience as we began eclipse season, as we moved in through the new moon on the 25th of March. Now, Mercury retrograde means slow your roll down. So you're going to feel this momentum to want to get going and be creative and all the things. But the wisdom is to slow down, to be extra conscious about what you're speaking, what you're saying yes to, what you're engaging in. Like, really slow your roll down, just to give space and grace that things could get a little wobbly, things could be misinterpreted, lost, unfound, all the things that Mercury retrograde brings us. Mercury also takes us, the retrograde of that also gives us this opportunity to look at things that have been yet to be resolved. You can expect things from your past to pop up, especially with the eclipse season that's before us. So it's a bit of a wild ride, no doubt. So Oh, it's also in Aries, and we're still in Aries season, of course. So it's about making sure that you have that work-life balance and balancing all things as you move through this Mercury retrograde. On Thursday, April the 4th, you will experience Venus entering Aries. Now, why this is important is it gives us this bounty of love. Like Aries is really the expression of love, and it has that fire. So it's not afraid to show its love and affection, right? And this is important because we're moving through such change and so much transformation that it's really going to shower you with the opportunity to and through all things cast your love. Let's remember, as we're in this great awakening, that the fear is what's being really hyper generated through the matrix, through the system, and the counterpart to fear is always love. So we're shooting for love or above in the vibrational frequency of who we are and who we're becoming. And this Venus entering Aries gives you that fiery, bold, choosing to do it in balance expression of love, moving into an over, pouring or overarching through this crazy time that we're experiencing. And then we get into April 8th. And April 8th, so many are talking about it from so many different perspectives. We will experience the solar eclipse. It is a new moon solar eclipse. It is in Aries. And if we remember that full moon lunar eclipses are really about the completion. It's the wrap up. It's wrapping things up. It's completing it. What the new moon gives us always is the fresh new start. And what the solar eclipse gives us is the fresh new start, right? With this lens of love, this fiery expectation that Aries brings through. And it's also, it's a big day. And it'll close the eclipse portal until we go through the next one in the fall. But you can also expect the unexpected. There's so much predictive things out there about what is going to happen, and so many wild things predicted and slated to be experienced. So what's important is that you stay in your zone, that you stay in that space of grace and love, that you attach to only love, and you watch and see what unfolds. What unfolds in, of, and around you. The sun, the moon, and the earth are all in perfect alignment. And that alignment is what shadows the sun. But let's also remember that what eclipses do is they expose what's been hidden in plain sight, what's been the illusion, right? So what's the shadow of the light, basically? And we get that with the full moon, and we get it with the sun. So this shadowing the light of the sun, it's like it's the time to expose what's been humming along behind the scene, if you will. So it's a new beginning. It's massively expansive. Now, what's also interesting is the moon is about your intuition. And when it's clouded, right? The moon temporarily is clouded. It's like clouded and hidden from the earth to the moon to the sun. It's like this blip where your intuition goes into rest. And what that means is that in those moments of that portal of the sun being eclipsed, it's really important to surrender into your full presence. It's really important to not try and access as much from the intuitive knowing, but be in the full presence. It's time to surrender in through that shadow and allow to be revealed in, of, around you, through you, into the global scale. Allow to be exposed, to be shown, to be seen, to be understood at a cellular level, whatever it is that is meant to be. And so this surrender is about, it's like this cosmic order of a blip in time that realigns and resets at a very deep level. It's essential, as all eclipses, to expect the unexpected, and this one is definitely not, this one probably more than most because of how everything else is lining up astrologically. It's also paired with the Mercury Retrograde, let's not forget that, and it means stay present, stay curious, and stay focused on the moment. On April 19th, the sun will enter Taurus and will move back into that decadence, beauty, leisure, like out of the fire of Aries, still expressing love, but will move into that kind of embodied, earth tangible beauty, resonance, leisure. It's time to kind of come into some rest, even in the internal plane, because everything's moving so fast and you have to integrate, right? So after you come out of this solar eclipse as well, and then when Taurus moves, the sun moves into Taurus, 10 days later, 11 days later, really take some much needed rest. Allow everything to integrate into your being. It's essential that you prioritize your leisure, your decadence, your beauty, the grace, and really ground it into the physical form. If you notice, nature and astrology gives us the perfect balance of like expanding, up, light, air, grounding. You know, it's all in perfect harmony. So don't miss the moments to optimize the frequency that is before you. It makes the journey through this human experience much more pleasurable. And then on April the 23rd, welcome the full moon in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, of course, is extra, like everything else this month. It's an intense energy. It's not going to be as intense as the solar eclipse, but still, you're still like cascading through these like expanded, intense energies. You might want to settle in a little bit more, slow down, appreciate the Taurus energy of it being in the sun. And it's also in highly activating, right? Scorpio brings in that real need for presence, to stay out of kind of the chaotic energy. It's a very expanded sexual energy. You might, a lot of the primal aspects of expression can get heightened during this full moon. So move with consciousness, move with discernment. You're still riding through Mercury Retrograde, so things are extra on top of that too. It's just essential that no matter what you choose and how you choose to express, that you express clearly and communicate really clearly to avoid any kind of haphazard, this sort of full moon Scorpio experiences. How about that? On Thursday, April 25, Mercury goes direct in Aries. And it's going to really allow for that integration of the extra kaboom of April to begin to settle in post full moon. It's kind of a spirit saying a purifying time, a slowing down and integrating all of the transformation kind of time. And on the 29th, Venus enters Taurus, which is its home. And this also supports that anchoring in, that grounding down of anything that has transpired. It brings in the calm after the chaos, if you will. It's about being more present, more loving. There's grace. It's about tending to yourself and to your beloved temple and your expression and those around you with love, with bringing that deep honoring of beauty and sensuality and tenderness and presence to the table, which will really kind of wrap up this crazy, wild, and intense, expect the unexpected month in a way that's really harmonious. So you will get the harmony of wrapping it up by the end of the month for sure, just in time for May to roll around with whatever it must show. So the card that wanted to pop through from the Sacred Rebels deck is the number 4. Interesting, it's a 4-month and we have a 4 card. We'll take that. Against the grain. And so what this card, first of all, there's white doves flying through the water, and that's always about bringing peace, right? The white dove is about bringing peace. The intuitive read on this is it's against the grain, which means there's so much opportunity, especially through the solar eclipse, to stand in, sit in, become one with, proclaim what it is that you know to be true, even if it is not part of the popular narrative on the planet. There is we're in a topsy-turvy time like no other, and people's perspectives, people's sight, people's understandings are in an extreme polarity. Remember, from the astrology and the numerology, really being asked to step out of the comfort zone and step into what your true leader-esque leadership is. Moving against the grain means you might have to step up out of what's popular and step into what you know to be true, and that you're supported in that. And also she's swimming underwater, which is about emotion. So there's a lot of emotions to navigate within this. Be brave, stand strong, trust your inner wisdom, know what you know. You're here on this planet to usher in the greatest experience that has ever been, which is the deconstruction of old foundations and the rebirth of something that is brand spanking new. I thank you for your service on this planet. I bow to you and bless you the most bountiful April that you've ever had, and I'm sending so much love to your light.